So hey everybody, welcome to the sky again. I wanted to bring you along on a video from last fall. We've had some really crappy weather this week, so I thought I'd take some time to edit some old footage. The flight that you're seeing now was in November of last year out of Maryland, just in time to see some of the really beautiful fall colors. Video isn't exactly a uncut video. I am doing some jumping to different parts of the flight, but all in all, it was about an hour flight. I whittled it down to just under 13 minutes if you want to stay with me. Here we are over some of the farmland in Maryland, headed towards Virginia, southwest. It was a really beautiful day. Winds were very light. There were some bumps, as you would always expect in this sport, but for the most part, pretty smooth. Here we are heading back now across the same highway to the north, and just some of the colors down here. The GoPro isn't doing it justice, but it was absolutely beautiful. This was a first for me, actually, going up over a mountain on a paramotor before. Usually it's just been too windy, or maybe I just didn't have the balls to do it, but this was the first crossing I did over a ridge. There's actually like a weather station or a radio cell tower on top of the mountain here. And for the most part, it was pretty smooth, but definitely got some bumps here that I hadn't felt yet. My bump tolerance has grown significantly since this video. There out in the distance, if you look, you can see Ryan. He's just left of the sun, climbing up towards the clouds a little bit. After the ridge, we're able to descend quite a bit down lower into the farmland area. Again, it was a nice and smooth day, so low flying was definitely possible and always one of our favorite things to do. I kept trying to get the right angle here, thinking that if Ryan flew over that pond in the distance that I would get a really cool reflection of him flying over it. But the sun and the light was sort of at the wrong angle, so it wasn't going to be possible to do it. But I tried. Now you can see Ryan doing some wing overs below, and my baby attempt at some really miniature wing overs. He's progressed a lot further than what you see him doing at this point now, and I have too, but again, this was probably my first attempt. The GoPro stabilization makes it look like I'm not moving at all, which in hindsight I'm really not doing a lot, but it's an introduction to controlling some of the oscillations of the wing. So powered paragliders fly about 25 to 35 miles an hour on average, depending on the wing that you're flying. And of course, if you have a tailwind or headwind, you could be going faster or slower over the ground, relatively speaking. But it's funny, you don't feel like you're moving through the air sometimes because you're moving so slowly, until you see your friend like Ryan just did their flyby, and you're like, wow, okay, cool. He's moving and I'm moving, and it's just a weird phenomenon. Obviously, the closer to the ground you are, the more you realize your speed. In fact, here I am coming down low. There was a a mom with 2 kids, I think, in a golf cart on their property, just enjoying the fall evening, and they were waving to me, so I came in and gave them a quick hi there. I have started carrying some toy paratroopers that I could launch out to the side of the paramotor down to the kids if I see some in the future, but at this point I wasn't carrying anything. Here again is one of those times when you actually are like, wow, I guess I am moving through the air. As Ryan's coming towards me and goes right under me. We're probably closing in on each other at 50 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour each direction, I guess. So it seems a little faster. This guy over here on the right has such a beautiful piece of property, a really nice house, and lots of farmland around him on all sides, pretty much. It's such a gorgeous place to live out here. I would never trade this for city life. When I was a kid, I never ever thought I would live in the country. I was so bored. I thought I would always live in a city, and it's funny now you couldn't pay me to live in the city. I have a daughter who's not too far away from going to college, and she hates it. She definitely wants to be in a place where there's more going on, and I get that. That's how I felt when I was young, too. From time to time, you may be seeing my foot come into view there where I'm lifting my leg up. So I'm lifting my leg on the opposite side of the turn so that I can lean into the turn, and that's the weight shifting. So along with pulling the brake on the side that you want to turn towards, you can also shift your body weight into that direction. Like I said, when you're cruising, you can do weight shifting just to maintain your direction. But if you want to make a tighter turn, you do a combination of pulling your brakes on the side you want to turn and weight shift. If you're watching this video and you want to know how to get into paramotoring, please reach out to me, leave me a comment. I'm happy to help anyone learn more about the sport and get into it. I personally trained with a group down in Florida called Aviator. If you've seen Tucker Gott, who's probably the face of the sport, he trained with Aviator back in the day, but there's some other really good schools. Ryan, my friend here, went to Nashville Paramotor, also a really good school, group of guys. So there's some good people out there teaching you how to do this wonderful sport. If you want to get into it, it's definitely doable. A lot of people ask, well, what's it cost? And I say anywhere between 10 and 15,000 would be your gear and your training, which sounds like a lot of money, but really is the cheapest form of aviation out there. So here we are, we're starting to head back. It's getting a little darker, so we're going to go back up over the mountain here. But if you're curious, you're like wondering what most people ask also is, do you have to have a license to fly this? And you don't. In fact, you don't even need to have the training, but as anyone I would hope would tell you, definitely get good training, and this is something that I don't think you should try to teach yourself. There have been many videos on the web of people trying to do that, some successfully and some not, but again, I wouldn't risk my life. I would find a good instructor and really learn what you're doing before you try this. But it's an incredible sport. It's very unregulated compared to a lot of other forms of aviation. I'm also a private pilot, but I love the freedom that this sport has. I don't have a dashboard in front of me or a windshield. It's just you and the elements. There are some rules and regulations to it, but I'll cover that in a separate video. It's just the most free form of flight I've ever experienced. It's really incredible. One day I hope to actually be an instructor in the sport. So again, if you have questions, if you'd like to learn more about it, reach out to me. I can point you in the right direction, probably save you some frustration from things I had to learn myself the hard way. So again, if I can help out in any way, I'm happy to. So if you stayed this long, thanks for watching my video. This is the first time I've done a voiceover to a flight. If you like something like this, let me know. Leave a thumbs up, leave a comment. I'll do some more in the future. I'm setting up to land here. I'm going to be turning to the right here and landing on that grass area that you see over there to the right. It looks like a large field, but it's actually not. About half of it's cut in half because of some high power lines. Look at the clouds in the pond there. That's kind of what I was talking about. I wanted to get a shot like that with Ryan's reflection in the pond, but it was not to be. But there you go. You can see the power lines I just crossed over, and I just let off my throttle, killed the motor, and I'm starting to glide in here. And it's just so cool because all you hear is the wind. And then you start to pull on your brakes and flare right as you get to the ground and run it out and try not to biff it. This was actually a good landing for me. So anyway, hope to see you again.